It's been so long and I'm finally ready. I'm finally doing my February reading wrap up, and first of all, I need to say I am standing in my bathroom basically. So I just had to be in the bathroom because it's the best lighting. Anyway, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sam and I just started booktube recently in like October or something like that, and I have been reading a lot of amazing books, and this is just yet another wrap up that I've done. I've done a few reading wrap ups already. It's been really cool to read all these different kind of books every month, but I will say I did have a very good reading month in February. I read 5 books. Some of them were audiobook, but hey, you do what you can with what you do. You do what you can with what you have. Yes, which I have a full-time job, so it's hard for me to make time to read because sometimes I am just so busy with work, and sometimes when I get home, I literally just want to lay down and stare at the ceiling and cry. So these books were all in this video ends when I find a 5-star romance edition video, and I obviously had a theme. They were all romance for the month of February, and a couple are YA romances, but let's just go ahead and get to it. So the first thing I want to say is that I'm pretty sure that when I did my February TBR, I had You've Reached Sam, Flawless, and potentially finishing Mile High, and Love Theoretically, but unfortunately I didn't get to these books. I thought it'd be a pretty cool idea to include the books I didn't get to along with what books I did get to for the month of February, so take with that what you will. I'm going to try to get to these soon. So Flawless is on my March TBR, but the other ones didn't really get passed through. Mile High is just something that I'm just gonna have to read when I can. I want to finish it, but also I don't have any desire to finish it, if that makes sense, right? So yeah. Anyway, without further ado, I'm going to get to the books that I read this month. And the first book I read was Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. I'm kind of late to the game. This book has been kind of known for being super spicy, and I will say it was pretty spicy, and it was almost too much spice actually. And don't get me wrong, I am someone that loves spice. I mean, I will admit it, I don't care, I like it, but even with this book, it was kind of just too much, and it was just kind of repeating the same things that had already happened, and it kind of made it less exciting with how much it happened, if that makes sense. It was a cute book. This is a hockey romance following the character Anastasia and Nathan. And basically they get into the situation where they have to share an ice skating rink, and that kind of makes them a little bit of enemies, at least on her end. Nathan is a really nice guy, and he kind of tries to make it up to Anastasia, and their relationship kind of goes forward from there. There's talks of, you know, mental health in this book. Couples communication was really good. Nathan was all for like therapy, and so was Anastasia. They were just very supportive with each other. Although it was not my 5 stars, I did rate it a 4. I thought it was cute, but just the spice was something that kind of threw me off. And this book is a little too long. It's like, this book is over 400 pages long, like 430 pages, and I just thought that was a little bit too long for a romance, at least for me. Something I do wish this book kind of explained a little bit more. They may have explained it pretty good, but if you've read the book, you'll know what I'm talking about, and if you haven't read the book, this isn't a spoiler. I kind of wish the character Aaron was explained more, kind of like why he did what he did, because kind of what they said, I didn't really think that was it. Like, I feel like there's more to it, and I'm honestly wondering if Aaron's gonna have some sort of redemption arc book. That would be really interesting because Aaron is an actual like asshole. I'm kind of curious to see if he will change. Anyway, this is a 4, and yeah, it was cute. I'm excited to read the next one during the summer. And the next book I read was The Do-Over by Lynn Painter. This was actually my first Lynn Painter book, and she is kind of known for writing really cute rom-coms, specifically YA rom-coms. Better Than the Movies is a book that a lot of people rave about. I haven't read it yet, but I'm super excited to once I get the chance. So this book was really popular last year during Valentine's Day, and that is because this book takes place right around Valentine's Day. So this book follows a girl named Emily, and she is really excited because this year she actually has a boyfriend that she can celebrate it with, so she's super pumped. And then something happens with her current boyfriend, and she gets really upset about it, and then she goes to her grandma's house and they're just talking, and then she goes to bed, and then she wakes up and she realizes that she's repeating the same day over again. There's a lot more to it than just that, but I will say this book does center around kind of the Groundhog's Day trope where they're repeating days. You got to figure out why you're repeating the day and what you have to do to kind of break this curse kind of thing. I've heard people say that this book they almost went back too much and it was kind of annoying, but I actually really enjoyed it, and I actually feel like it could have went back a little bit more. Like, it wasn't annoying to me. I really don't have any negative things to say about it except maybe one nitpicky thing. I do feel like the ending it ended very abruptly, I feel like, and I kind of wish that we had a little bit more, if that makes sense. I love the characters and I love the banter and I loved Nick. I don't know, I just liked them together and I liked their characters. And we actually have another Lynn Painter book that I read this month, and it was, or last month. The Love Wager by Lynn Painter. This is an adult romance by Lynn Painter, and I don't know why, but I didn't really love this book. Like, it's still like a 3-star, but I just didn't enjoy it too much. This book was just about a girl that's working as a bartender at a wedding, and the best man and her kind of start having a conversation, and then they drink a little bit, and then she wakes up in his apartment. After that, she kind of decides to start on a new leaf. She logs onto a dating app, and then she matches with somebody named Jack Marshall, and then she realizes that this was the guy that she had a one-night stand with. So she thinks it's gonna be awkward, but they actually get along really well, and they're very much friends. They decide to make a wager on who can find true love first. So this book is just kind of following their journey through trying to find true love when they don't realize that they're actually falling for each other. And there is spice in this book, and I think I put it at a 2. I don't remember exactly what I put, but the spice was there, but it was not like descriptive. Like, there were no like words used, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It just wasn't descriptive. Like, it wasn't like crazy words, if you know what I'm saying. This book was like very much okay. I liked it, but it wasn't something that I was like, oh, I need to finish it. It could just be me, but I feel like the guy got possessive kind of quickly, and that kind of caught me off guard. I thought that was weird. It could be just me, but I kind of felt like it was a bit too fast, and that's kind of what threw me off. But just in general, I mean, everything else was fine. The banter was good. I don't think I enjoyed this storyline as much as I did the do-over, so that's why I only rated this book a 3 stars. Like, it was still good, it was still cute, and the cover's super cute, but it was just okay. So, and this book I actually listened to fully on audiobook, and that is Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. I have read The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. I haven't read her other ones. I was gonna try to read Love Theoretically, but I don't know, I just wanted to pick this one up instead. And this book was actually really good. I was kind of surprised because a lot of people were saying it wasn't as good as the other ones, and maybe they're not. Maybe Love Theoretically is like so much better than this one. But I honestly really enjoyed this one. I loved the characters and I loved the banter. I like how there was kind of this little mystery aspect in the beginning where, so B kind of has this Twitter account and no one knows it's her, but she kind of just tweets. And then there's this other person that she talks to through DMs, and she doesn't know who this person is either, but we find out later who it is, and I kind of liked that mystery aspect to it. I thought that was very cute. And I loved Levi. I thought he was like, he's kind of like a moody, brooding guy, but I really enjoyed their dynamic and their banter throughout the story, and I thought the ending was like super cute, and I think the reveal of like Levi's feelings toward B was super cute. Like, I don't know, it was just so cute. Yeah, so this one was almost a 5-star. I put it at a 4.5. It was really good. And if people are saying that Love Theoretically is a lot better than this, then I'm really excited and really curious to figure out my thoughts on it. Now I want to read it. That's okay. I'm already in the middle of 2 different books, so I can't do a third, or can I? No, I can't. I couldn't possibly read 3 books at once. And the last book I read this month, which is actually my 5-star for the month of February, was The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. I'm not sure which one it is. I've heard both. But anyway, this book is a magical realism, rom-com type of book. This I think I figured out that I really like the magical realism aspect and kind of like the time loop things. Like, I like that. I don't know why. I just think it's probably one of my favorite kind of things to have alongside a romance. But this book is about Clementine West, and her aunt died 6 months prior, so her aunt gifted her her apartment. And her aunt would always say that the apartment is magic and the apartment can like go back in time and all this. And then, you know, for so long, Clementine kind of avoided going to her aunt's apartment because it would always make her sad. It would just make her really upset and depressed and think about old times and old memories. But she goes into this apartment and then she basically goes to bed, and then she wakes up with this guy just like saying, hey, wake up. And she freaks out because she doesn't know who this guy is, and he ends up being 7 years in the past, and she doesn't know how the heck that even happened. So basically, this story is just following both of them, Clementine and Ewan. It's just following their story and their journey through, you know, the time loop and then grief and then their romance. It was honestly just such a good book and such a good story. I understand why people kind of say it's like a fiction, like a magical realism fiction with an added romance subplot, but it was still like a really, really good read. It just kind of kept me on my toes, and there's times where my jaw literally dropped, and it was just so heartwarming at the end. And it was just such a good read, and I was just very impressed, and I loved it so much. So obviously this was a 5-star. There was like a little bit of spice, but I didn't think it was crazy. It was more like a very loving thing, not like a lust thing. Like, the love scenes between these two books are very different. This is like dirty, and this is like clean and loving, if that makes sense. Oh, and I forgot to mention, Love on the Brain does have spice, but it definitely wasn't as much as Icebreaker. Icebreaker was crazy. Anyway, these are all the books I read in February, and I'm super excited to read the books that I have on my March TBR. I am currently in the middle of Powerless and Caraval. I'm listening to the Caraval audiobook, and oh my gosh, Caraval is crazy. Like, I didn't think I would like it as much as I am, and I don't know if it's because I'm listening to it on audiobook, but it's so good. I'm really enjoying it. And Powerless, I don't want to talk about Powerless. Powerless had me kicking my feet 50 pages in. Like, it did not take long. It did not take long at all. The next video, I hope, is going to be a Powerless reading vlog, but we'll see what happens because life just keeps lifing. Anyway, like I said, that's the end of this video, and thank you so much for sticking with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!